Hey moguls, it's Dr. T here, and I'm coming to you with some amazing upgrades for today that are going to transform you and give you millions of dollars worth of value and give you a mogul lifestyle as you learn to master mogul reality so you can transform like a mogul and stop repeating patterns over and over. So I'm really excited to be with you today so we can make this shift. Now, for those of you that don't know, my third best-selling book is called The Pattern Shift: Transform Your Reality Through Intentionality. I'll have the link in the description here. This is a big one right now because it's time to shift from doing the same, hate to say it, stupid things over and over that you know you don't want to be doing. And I think this is the most challenging thing of all for people to navigate, because how many times in your life and in the lives of the people you love and know, and the lives of people literally everywhere, do you know how many people want to make changes and shifts in their lives and transform? And literally, when we look around and we look at ourselves and we look how long we've been trying to change certain things, we can see like, holy shit, this is taking forever. Why is this so hard? Why is this so difficult? Why do I keep repeating the same patterns over and over? So today we're going to have a focus on how you can transform the way the moguls do it, the top leaders and influencers and powerful people, which you are here to become more of, and how you can stop repeating the patterns, because you see the difference between you and them, or more accurately, better said, where you and the are and the you that you want to be. So you at the level that you're at of leadership in your life, and you where you want to be. And the difference and the gap between that is that other people, the more top mogul influential people that you see, they keep growing. Like, how fast can they grow? Every time you turn around, they've done another thing, they've done a book, they've done that. And it's the people that are navigating and being able to do all these fun things, which I want to tell you, they are very fun to do, is because they're transforming in a different way and at a different rate than you are. It's as simple as that. They've got upgraded programming. They're not repeating the same mistakes over and over and over. And when they get a lesson, a curriculum, they go, all right, there it is. And they have the tools and the transformational technology to make the changes so that they learn something, they got it, they move on, and they go to the next thing and the next thing. And that's why, as the race is being, ran here, there's a certain group of people that are a higher level than other people. And then other people who are just working their asses off at life, good people, just keep living groundhog life. And then even every time it's like, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change this. And then you keep recognizing that you're in a similar place or have just the difficulty of making shifts. So we are going to focus on how you can do that. Transform like a mogul and really stop repeating the same patterns over and over. So let's get more into it. So key thing is we've got to understand that the reason things keep getting repeated, even though you can't stand it, you don't want it, you could see what's happening to you, you can see where you want to be, you can see where you need to be, and you can see where you need to be also relative to the fact that you need to be further in life than you are right now in order to meet not only the demands of the reality that we're in, but the demands of your dreams and what they are wanting from you. And the demands of a whole new world of AI, which is absolutely got to be rapid transformation. So the opposite of what's been happening to people, most people in their lives, especially mass population of billions of people, where they keep wanting to change and they keep repeating the same thing. In the age of AI, it's even more essential. The exponential age is going to require everybody to transform rapidly and move on once they learn a lesson, to move on and go to the next thing and go, I got that. Now I'm going to act in the next thing. So to understand that you have programming that is running on a loop, repeating the same thing over and over, is to understand that this is how humans are formed, in terms of humans are designed to be programmable. And then they unfortunately get programmed by the system of human, when the universal forces of evolution that are operating and making each new day happen in the galaxy here and bring in a new set of things, and the planets move around and they do their thing. And these evolutionary forces created you, so you were programmable by that. And speak of it the way you want to, call it God. I like to think of it as God as well. And that makes perfect sense to me. It's definitely a higher power, a higher source. I like to refer to it as the great reality maker. And you're meant to be programmed. So it can program you to do the new next level thing, to do this, to create Apple, to create the computer, to create new technology, to create some new awesome way that we can have more clean drinking water, whatever it is. You're meant to be programmed. You have a human design system that's meant to that's about programming you. So you, as a part of the mechanism of reality that you are, and we all are, will receive all the positive transformational messaging and then follow it. However, we have programming where humans decided that instead of, well, some humans decided, well, let me say this. Some humans decided that they're going to follow this awesome programming, lead the charge, be on the forefront, and lead humanity as evolution is trying to get them to do. They follow. They don't say, oh, let me do this other crap and be like everyone else. They say, let me lead the pack, which is what evolution is trying to get everyone to do. Come forward, come into the new reality, come to the next phase. We're in a journey. It's time to go to the next thing. And then humans program each other to be small, limited, afraid, isolated, conquerable, and humans conquer other humans. They say, oh, we want to be in charge. We want you to do what we want you to do, so I can be the master and you can be the slave, because that's what everybody's thinking they want to do. The powers that be are. And then human programming gets in there and jacks everything up, getting humans who are born as powerful creators that evolution brought in to transform reality, all of it, and to transform humanity and have it play its part in the whole galaxy of reality. However, with the jacked up human programming that is playing a video game going like, we want to be master, we want you to be slave, we're going to program you through all these slave mechanisms, and you get programmed in from the very beginning, and that programming is so steeped in you, you think it's you, so you want to hold on to it. And what it's doing is running you. And which is why you're inside of there, which is the next thing to know. You're inside. The real self is still in there, as you were built to be. And you're like, I want to do something else. But all the other programming is literally running on a loop. So you can say you're going to make changes, but you're so programmed to do the same reality that if you don't have a method, a process, and a system for transformation that's going to make sure that you do the thing you intend and put you in your most intentional self, it's not even a question. You will repeat the pattern because it's running on a loop. It's been programmed day in and day out for centuries in your lineage, for you and your family members to do the same freaking thing. And that is why somebody can be like, great grandpa was an alcoholic and this ruined everything and and everybody was heartbroken. And then everybody knows that. And then the great grandson is doing the same freaking thing. Didn't matter, because the lesson is not getting through. It just slightly registers, but the programming is so powerful that what it takes to transform is so much bigger. And I just think people just, I think it's amazing that humans just underestimate this. It's like, oh yeah, I can just make this change. Well, you can, which is good. But great grandpa thought the same thing. And then everybody after that repeated the pattern because it has got so much momentum, which is the other thing to know, that every single thing has momentum. And your lineage of people that did this, and it's the same exact thing. They were depressed and they were depressed and they were depressed. It's all epigenetics, which is your energy genetics, which is in your human design. And if you don't know what your human design is, your unique one, you can get it. There's a link in the description that you can go to get your human design chart. And it's a website, theempirecompany.com. Click on human design. It's one of my websites. There'll be another website coming called the International Moguls Club, where I'm taking our community that we have and putting it actually also on its own website. So you want to know your human design, because that has all your characteristics of what you're here to do and your energy genetics that are supposed to do amazing things, but you have momentum of your ancestors and what they did. And then you have the collective momentum of like, here's what the collective did. Here's what this town did for all these years. Here's what this state did. Here's what this region did. Here's what this country did. Here's what the world did. And you have all these patterns running that you're exposed to. You're in it. Like you know, the matrix is strong. And so to be able to shift patterns takes something much more significant. And it's also very doable. But that's why I've got 3 Wall Street Journal bestselling transformational books, in order to just absolutely help people understand there is technology needed for transformation. And one of the biggest ones, which is at the heart of each of my books, is about being in intention. And your intentions have to be stronger than your reactions to the reality that you're in. And it's not a casual thing to be like, oh, I'm just going to make this change. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. How'd that work last time? It's good that you're doing it, but we've got to have a real pattern shifting mechanism. The way that's going to happen is to recognize that this is no different, everyone, than like, you learned to drive and you had to be super conscious and you had conscious learning. You had to think about everything. You had to get yourself to do it. You had to go step 1, 2, 3, 4, turn the signal on, put the brake on. And you did that and did that and did that. And you paid attention and you paid attention and you focused on intentions and you did the same exact thing. Where am I going? Where am I driving to? Where am I turning? This is what I want to do. And you did that over and over and over until it became unconscious. And it then got into your system, into your programming. You never have to think about it. People don't sit there and hold any bandwidth about like, I got to go think about my driving process. You get in the car, the unconscious self drives you places while you can use your brain for everything else. To be clear, most of what goes on in us, like 95%, is programmed into the unconscious so we don't have to think about it. So our bandwidth is for the new stuff that we need to navigate. What's going on? What do I do? Okay, went in the elevator, this person, make decisions, make choices. 95% of it is already programmed, and it does. And so it happens when you're a baby. You're not even signing off on this. You're just in a default immersion and you're taking it all in. And then every single day, if you are in any dysfunction with yourself, your partner, your family, your city, your company, the country, if you are in any dysfunctional environment, reality, which we all have layers and layers and layers of it, no wonder you're just the mechanism of the entire system. And it's very strong. A system that is programming you to follow a certain prescription, get on the slave system, get a job so they can have you work, be productive, take half of what you make, take that from you, keep you on that hamster wheel. When you become unproductive, put you out to pasture, make you a healthcare consumer, all the way till you're paying for your casket, and extract out of you while we bring in the new people. And now we can get them to do it all over again. So you're programmed as cattle. You're programmed, I hate to say it, but to be in the concentration camp and to shift these patterns into being a top mogul who operates as in your partnership as a power couple, making a business. It's not just a business, which is low level, making an empire, a whole world of reality that you want, unique to you. It doesn't have to be big. It can be small, but it can be yours. Creating a dynasty out of your family of co-leaders leading you on a mission to some destiny, rather than families are just like so weirdly dispersed. I have no idea what's going on. It's so bizarre. We're just floating in the atmosphere. We don't know where we're going. Just hanging out together. I think that's bizarre. I've always had my whole life. I'm like, where the fuck are we heading to? Where are you taking me? Just hanging out? So when you don't have intentionality and you don't have a direction, or you've got an entire group of people that you're interacting with that are all in some massively different directions, it's chaos. So you're just absorbing that too. So all the patterns are for this random sort of reality with only a teeny bit of intentionality. Maybe once a day, people think about what their largest, most epic, amazing dream vision is. Their intentions, or we like to say at my team, what's the reality you're going for? So it's like telling, reality, we're going for this reality. And having that as a process programmed into you over and over again, that's how you start to shift patterns. So you stop repeating the old patterns and you move through a process of transformation that keeps it's like, because remember, the next thing to know is as you go towards something new, you're going to feel the effort. You're going to feel the resistance. And you know what the resistance is? The other patterns running. And it's so strong that when you go, hey, again, like say you're gonna shift from eating sugar to eating something healthier, and the whole pattern's running. It's got everything, not just the sweet taste, not just the addictive dopamine rush, not just the blood sugar rushes, but every aspect. What you do, you walk into the room, you do this, you open it, you go to the store, you get the Ben and Jerry's. Every aspect of that is programmed. And it's running on a loop. So you don't have to think about it. And unconscious programming is stronger than conscious programming because it's been done over and over and over. And because you've effectively, some of it you signed off on and contributed to, a lot of it you haven't. It's just in you, and it was built into a self. And you think that self is you. And people like to hold on to the old self instead of becoming the new self. They literally feel like they have to, like, I need to hold on to this self because it's not, sorry, it's not all that great. I can just attest to it for all of us. The self that was programmed by the slave system ain't all that great. Trust me. The one that is in its highest intention is the one we want and everybody's going to benefit from. So we need to be in our highest intentions. And just to give you some insights from the programs that my high net worth and ultra high net worth clients have paid millions of dollars for over the years, paying the highest coaching fees in the world because they value themselves as an asset and because they wanted actual results. And I'm bringing you in on it. And what that is a process of being in your intentions so consistently throughout the day that you are literally guiding and directing and carving out a reality and your ultimate highest reality and your manifest destiny. So believe me, when you've been on a different program and you start to put your intentions in, even if I just take it, our top clients, they like it, they do it, they're doing it multiple times a day within our platform and our system. And they could be in the middle of whatever it is, but then the timer ring, the alert rings, the prompt, and then they put their intentions in. And those intentions are there. And then even the best of them at times are like, oh, I was busy with this thing, so I didn't put my intentions in. It's like, of course you were busy with this thing. That's the other reality that you're trying to change, and you're trying to get into this one. So the old reality that is currently running is so profound. It's going to keep doing that. It's going to keep telling you, do this other thing, because it's on automation. It's got your whole body, your chemistry, your whole reality. Every piece of it is set into automation. The characters in the story, the whole thing is programmed. So when you are trying to make a shift, initially you're like, oh my God, I got to say my intentions. Oh, I got to do my intentions. Okay. Intentions. By the way, intentions feel amazing. And yet when you put intentions in, I've seen this over the year, my own self, my team, my clients. And then it's like, as you're programming it and you got the new intention. Let's go with something like this. I'm gonna give you an example. Say a client wants to make 10 million in a year, and they've only ever made 1 million or 2 million. And I'm just keeping these numbers simple, because if I give you the real numbers for people, you're not going to process it. So they want to make 10 million, even though they want to make a billion. Tell you, think of the number 10 million. And example, they've only made 1 or 2 million. And we're putting that in the intentions over and over, multiple times a day, all weaving it throughout their reality, sprinkling it in. It's easier and easier and easier. And then it starts to hit where all of a sudden it's hitting the resistance of the other programming more and more. And that's because as the new programming is extinguishing the old programming gets weaker and weaker and weaker. But in the process of extinguishing it, it very much starts to get a little bit stronger. Like, no, I'm not supposed to die. I'm supposed to run this thing. It doesn't matter if the bad programming is going to kill you and give you a heart attack or diabetes. It knows it's been programmed and its job is to run. It's essentially neutral. It doesn't know that it's doing this. It doesn't go, oh, well, I'm killing you with diabetes, so I should stop. It's not like that. It just knows its job is to run. And when your new programming starts to hit the old program, this is where some people, the change just falls apart and they revert back and they boomerang back. The rubber band snaps them. And in the best of our clients, they have been like, I get it. Okay. They go, okay. So that's even more, the harder it can feel, because the other programming is like, no, pull me over here, eat this ice cream or whatever it is. Go back to this relationship or whatever. This is where the new programming must get even more potent to essentially tackle and conquer the old programming, to dissolve it and say, I get it. This resistance is there because it's like the last bit of the old program trying to go like, no, I'm supposed to give a surge of support for this program. And the consistency, and our clients do at least a year minimum of intentionality, so that a full calendar year, intention, because we're shifting their whole system from whatever it's been doing into an intentional loop that runs intention, new reality, intention. When it hits a piece of resistance, it's not a bad thing. It means you're actually at the point where the most emotional strength for the transformation needs to take place. So we go more intention. We actually start to amp up a little bit more intention. Like now we're instead of prompting them 3 times a day, this is besides their immersion sessions into their intentions, that prompt we turn it up a little bit more. And now they do it a little bit more often. They move through it, and it's like becoming a world-class athlete for transformation, which is how transformation needs to be. I think transformation should be its own elite sport. That's what it really is. Been doing it my whole life, training people in my whole life. It's an elite sport where it's like new program, you're the athlete versus the old programming, which is cemented in. And then if years go by, oh my God, now it's buttressed in. I never use that word, but anyway, it's set in. Now it's set in by, it happens every day. It happens every week. It happens every month. Now it's got years. It's like, oh, every single thing is colluding for it to stay automated. So when you make a shift, you got to stay in top intentionality on every level. And if you like, oh no, I'll just do, no, you got to know that most things you're doing that are not your intentions are the program just whipping you around and running you and confusing you, because the programming will find any way to get you back on the program because it has a job. And when those programs are running, the other part, moguls, is to know that those are then parts of you that get created. And there's even parts of you that have personalities, like the saboteur or the contractor or the avoider, the procrastinator, whatever it is, the chaos maker, whatever it is. So not only do those programs run really tightly in a loop, they form their own, they become an entity. They're a personality. It's a part of you. And so we got ways to deal with those parts using the internal family systems method of coaching people through transforming their parts. But the simplest version of pattern shifting is to be in intention every single moment of every day, and at minimum 3 times a day. I'm going to encourage you, set alerts in your phone. By the way, I don't like the word alarm because we don't want any more alarming. So we set alerts. We get alerted or we get prompted. We call them upgrades. Set an upgrade time. And at that moment, when it goes off, whatever you're doing, you're like, what's my intention? Check in. My intention is whatever it is from the top: world peace, dynasty family, empire company, power couple marriage, mogul reality, transformation of my company, $10 million in the bank and on a vacation in Tahiti, whatever it is. You're getting those intentions in. We have our clients say them. We have them speak them into our system. So they're verbally doing it with your manifestor voice. This is how reality is made, through the manifesting voice. That's literally, people refer to it now as speaking it into reality. Manifesting is not what everyone thinks it is. Manifesting literally means that your voice speaks something into reality. Generating is that your system, your generator energy, generates the thing into reality from it being spoken. And then there's the projecting of that, where it gets amplified and it gets put into a reality, and that changes everything. And so ultimately, we want to stay in our intentions, speak them. We have our clients speak them, write them, because then we get all parts of the self getting on board, and we keep programming them until eventually it's like driving the car, where you have to think about, and then they don't have to think about it. And then it's like so easy. Those intentions get programmed into their subconscious. They get replaced. They replace the other programming, and then they run on a loop. And we do that over and over. And you can do it too. We do that for our clients so that every pattern that needs to go is identified, reprogrammed, and now we work with the way humans work, which is on automation. So now you go from a reactive pattern, which is one you would not want to do, to an intentional pattern. It runs on a loop and runs for you, which is how the moguls are operating at a top level, and you can too. So knowing how strong that is, it's really important to have a transformational infrastructure, because you only really need to do the bulk of the heavy lifting and transformation one time for the foundation, and the rest of your life for the rest of the upgrades. It would be like buying the brand new iPhone and then updating it the rest of your life. But why it's important to do in the bigger foundational transformation, which I believe everyone needs to do if they haven't gotten programmed into intentionality, they need to shift their system from having any reactive patterns that were formed when they were reacting in life. They were experiencing stress, trauma, avoidance, difficulty. Reactive patterns, or what they call defensive or coping patterns, came in they form themselves, they become ingrained, and they become automated. And those are your reactive patterns because they're not what you would want to go toward. And you can watch it. It's like, why is this thing taking me over here? This is not what I want to do. I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to, stress myself. I don't want to jerk myself around into some same stupid relationship. And those are because you're literally on a reactive automation. And when you program intention, you work with the laws of physics, which says an object in motion stays in motion until acted upon by another force. So all those reactive patterns, they just run because they don't know they're bad. They will run people into the ground. They'll kill them, get them sick, put them in the same stupid position over and over, and they're banging their head. We're built for automation. So we got to automate our intentions because when we were born and came into the world, this is not the programming we would have chosen for ourselves at all. We would have chosen freedom, liberation, intelligence, happiness, awareness, healthiness, wealthiness, abundance, peace, prosperity, comedy, connection, love, connectivity. And we would have chosen to be programmed to be a top mogul, an amazing leader, powerful creator, creating our own world of reality, creating a great empire, something epic that changes the world, creating a family dynasty where we all flow together in a common purpose and mission to an ultimate greater destiny. We would have done it differently, where we play all day and get, have everything we need. We can program anything. We can program ourselves into world abundance or whatever it is. We can program luxury. We can program scarcity. It's just programming. When you're in a world that's programming you for the opposite thing in order to control you, conquer you, understand that powerful people want to conquer populations, get them to do what they want them to do, benefit from that, and keep that going as long as humanly possible. This is what's true. You can get programmed on the slave process and become a slave to the program. You can get programmed on the master process and become a mogul that leads your own automations that you install and then helps you become that top mogul and everything that comes with that reality in that world. So, understanding that you have a lot of options. Number one, the simplest is just to take this process and set some of your own alerts in your phone, and every 3 times a day, say 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. Certain clients, and I do this with myself, I put another one at 8 o'clock. It's up to you guys. It's a minimum of 3. And those prompts happen, say our intentions, say them. We say them into this platform that we work with. So we say it. It comes through. I receive them all. My team and I look at these. You write it. Now you type it out. Now you have it in your system. Now I've written it. It's a new reality. You're in it. You feel it. And you make sure in that moment of the day that you are on track for that. And know that you're programming that into yourself over and over until it's into your subconscious, and like all the other programs, you don't have to think about it. And it just begins to go, this is what you want me to do. I'm going to bring you to this reality, bring these people into your life, do this and this. Because right now, whatever your life is, it's what you're programmed for. And it's not only what you were programmed for, you in particular, it's what all the people in your life are programmed for that are around you, that you're hanging out with. Doesn't matter who they are. They can be relatives, friends, coworkers. It's what all the people in your life are programmed for. And you're absorbing it because they are your environment. And that's why they say, oh, that you're sum total of the 5 people around you. You're a sum total of all the reality around you. And the closest relationships and proximity is representative of where your programming is. So if you're hanging out with the top moguls and all that and living that La Vida Loca, then you see where your programming is. If you're hanging out with other people that are slaving and struggling and repeating the same old shit, and you're just like having the same conversations, you're in a loop. These people are part of that loop. And you're just in that process and in that program. And every time you see it, It's reprogramming you every single time. So if you're transforming, say you're in a relationship, say you're in a partnership, you're transforming your ass off. You're putting your intentions in. And we've seen this with clients too. But then the partner is on some other random program. They're not transforming. If the client's transforming, but what happens is if they're in proximity to another person in a reality that is not one they would want, or is not the highest level, it's out of alignment with the one they want, that programming is coming in. You just see it, know it, think it. Even if you get away from them, but you think about it, that's the program running. Okay. I've been in a partnership like that where I was just like on one massive, amazing track. And then this other person was on some completely opposite track than what was said in the dating process. And I was just like absorbing that every single day. And we're all taking that in. So we got to watch all the things in our life that are programming us. If we have people in our lives who are people that we really love that are doing dysfunctional behaviors and they're sick. And I've had people in my life that were, this to be really frank, supposed to be these certain people to me, be it relatives of any kind, step or otherwise, who literally would have all these problems. One moment, who would literally have all these. TJ, come here. TJ, come here. TJ, come here. Give me 2 minutes. Thank you. Edit this out. All right, moguls, I'm almost done. I've had people in my life that are literally have all these issues, won't go face them, won't go to therapy, won't make any shifts. And then all that happened was by watching them year after year after year, I kept being at the effect of that. I could do all the intentions in the world. But if I'm watching somebody neglect themselves, it could literally turn you into someone that neglects yourself. As a small example. Okay, moguls. So you've got some upgrades to do. You've got some shifting to make happen. You've got some decisions to make. You've got some intentions to get clear about, and you've got some intentions you need to follow. To get support, you've got my 3 best-selling books. The link is in the description. It's all about the method of intentionality, the commitment to it, and the pattern shifting process to make upgrades. You can also join our community here on YouTube. There'll be a forthcoming membership, and you can also go to the Empire Company website and the International Moguls Club website as well in order to support you. Doing transformation takes a real amazing infrastructure, but I want to give you as much as you can to help yourself along the way. There's tons of content on here. The channel is full of it. Be sure to join in as much of it. Take it in, immerse yourself in it. It's going to teach you how to be an intentional person, how to operate like a mogul and shift patterns and stop that madness and get where you want to get and live in the life that you're really deserving to. So please like and subscribe and share, because for those of us in the world that know all of this, we could be doing literally anything. And here we are helping you. And it helps us when you help us as well know that it is valuable, and it gets us the support that we need. It tells us to keep going and supporting you, and that there's actually something resonating. And otherwise, just like anything, if there's no feedback loop, there's only so much people are going to do for you if you don't also reciprocate and say, yes, I am on board with this, and thank you for supporting me and sharing with me and giving your valuable time when you could be literally doing anything else. All right, everyone. Thanks for the subscribe and the like. Thanks for making the upgrade and tuning in. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye, moguls.